Have you ever tried adding a run to a hymn and it just didn't sound like it fit? Well, here's an easy run that I'll teach you that can be put in a variety of places in a hymn. Now, this tutorial is geared to the probably intermediate to early advanced pianists, and learning to play this simple run will add spice to your playing. Number one, the run doesn't have to start on the melody note, just as long as you're in the same chord frame. And number two, stay true to the voice parts from the hymnal to avoid chord clashes. Now this run uses the second inversion of a chord because the note layout is just more comfortable to the hand, at least for me. So for example, here's a C root chord at the bottom of this page, C, E, G. And if you put it into second inversion, it's G, C, E. So that's 3 notes of the 4-note run we've discussed. And number 4, be careful not to use the run excessively because it's kind of like adding pepper to food. You don't want to overdo it. Probably just work for a balance. Now the right hand run contains 2 sets of 16th notes. Now each set is the 3 notes from the inverted chord plus an extra note we'll discuss soon. But notice the first set of the run begins in the middle register of the piano, followed by the second group 1 octave higher. Now we'll use 2 different groups of runs. The second inversion of an F chord will be used first, the C, F, A. Do you see the extra note I added to the second inversion of the F chord? Yes, a G. It's okay to use a non-chord note for variety, just to borrow them. That's what I've learned. Notes surrounding the chord notes can be used in runs. So notice the layout of this run. We start in the middle register, and in the second group is an octave higher, and then you see the third keyboard higher up. That's where we play our landing note, kind of like to top off the run. And the landing note is quite often the same note as the first note of the run. Okay, the second chord in the key of C major we're going to use is the second inversion of a C chord. And so you look and see G, C, E is the second inversion of a C chord, and we just threw in the D. If you've noticed, the extra note is between the top 2 notes of that inverted chord. And then notice the last keyboard at the top shows a G as your finishing note. I mean, you got to land somewhere, so it's kind of like a place to land there to finish off the run. Now look for a chord lasting 2 or more beats. And I've marked those 2 spots for both runs in red. And notice the F chord inversion will go first, followed by the C inversion. Now let's see the runs on the staff while I play them. Now let's go on to practice tips. Number 1, use correct fingering to produce a smoother sound. We don't want to sound disjointed. Make sure the notes before a run are close enough to where the run starts without an awkward leap. You want to be able to enter the run, it needs to be accessible to start it, so make sure you're just near that starting note. Your hand movement, notice the right hand should be almost parallel to the keys when the thumb moves into the second group of the run. But the faster you go, the less visible this position will look. But that's actually slow motion. You're At first, your right hand does go parallel to the keys when it enters the second group. More tips. Number 3, play the run at a super slow speed until the run sounds more fluent, and then gradually increase your speed. And another good thing, number 4, you want to master the entry and exit of a run. And to do that, memorize like a measure or two before the run and after the run. So you've got a clear picture of it in your head to prevent feeling disoriented, like, oh my goodness, where did I just go? So make sure you feel nice and comfortable a few measures going into the run and then leaving out of the run, because you want to work for a seamless sounding run. Okay, time for a quiz. Number 1, the run in this presentation used the first inversion of the root chord. Nope, it was second inversion. Number 2, hold your right hand parallel to the keys for the second group of the run. True. But remember, the faster you go, the less you'll see that hand position parallel. Number 3, the right hand run is compatible only for 3/4 time signature. False. Any time signature works. Number 4, start practicing the run at the regular tempo of the hymn. Does that sound right? I hope you caught on to that. No, you want to go slow as possible and then gradually increase your speed. You can do this.